Hello everybody, welcome back to HardReset.Info channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you the camera comparison between the Oppo Find X9 Pro and the VIVO X300 Pro. So let's start off with the camera options. This phone has a zoom up to, as you guys can see, 100 times. Now, on the other hand, we have the Oppo Find X9 Pro at 120, and from my personal experience with both of the devices, the 100x looks definitely better than the 120, and it's all because of the cameras that both of the phones are using. So Vivo actually used better cameras for the telephoto zoom, so the 100x zoom. Now let's check the settings. They do not differ by much. Here we have the resolution, also the timers. Here we have the grid lines, levels, and shake, the effect, the watermark, manual focus, and smart focus, or the roll lighting. These settings are actually hidden here, so they're not shown just like in the Vivo, but you guys can find them here in the settings. So as you guys can see, the watermark here, and here we can basically find a lot of settings. As you guys can see, it's actually scrollable. Here we have everything like handy features, the camera systems, video, and photo. But if we enter more settings here, we actually have a category. So the first one is the general one. We have the watermark, keep settings. We have a lot more settings to actually customize our camera. Not exactly customized, but we can definitely do more things to it than we can to the Oppo Find X9 Pro. Here in the photo, as you guys can see, we do not have a lot of settings, but for this device right here, this is definitely a lot. It's much better. Sorry, not better, but it's definitely more of it. But if it's better, it's up to you now. Here we have the video settings. Now here we also have the video settings and the handy features, which this phone does not have. So the handy features here are probably the options that are all just thrown into the video, photo, and general at the same time. Now as you guys can see, like quick mode, quick launch, smart suggestions about camera privacy, and the Lumo camera system. Here we have everything. And for the video, let's see the adaptive frame rate, like for 30 fps and 60 fps videos. So as you guys can see, automatically reduce the frame rate in low light to enhance video quality, and you can turn on adaptive frame rate for 30 fps videos or both. So this is totally up to you. Now here we have the codec, we have the bitrate, but we also have the bitrate right here. Now here we have 3D sound tracking, lock white balance, and high frame rate video stabilization. Here we can change the resolution for video, portrait video, pro video, slow-mo, time-lapse, spatial camera, and stage video recording. Here we can change it, so I put my rear and front at 4K 60 fps, and the only way you can change it is, let's go to video. Here we can change it, and as you guys can see, let's also change it right here. Here we have 8K 30 fps, but for this phone the max we can do is 4K 120 fps. So if we go to 4K, then we can also select 120 fps. If we go to 1080p, we have 30 fps and 60 fps. But if we go here, we also have an option to go with 120, and here we also have 720p, but I think nobody would use it, and everybody would just switch to 4K to 120. So here you guys have 4K recording, and here we actually have the Dolby Vision settings for an example. Now if you want to zoom during a video, it goes up to 10, but for the Vivo it goes up to 20. So if you want to capture something else, then you can. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna compare the pictures. So let's compare the first images. As you guys can see, the left side is the VIVO X300 Pro and the right side is our Oppo Find X9 Pro. So this is how it's gonna go. And now let's zoom in on the VIVO X300 Pro. Let's zoom in to 87%. You guys can definitely notice those sharp details. But now whenever we try and zoom into 87%, these pictures are almost identical, and they were taken right after the first one. As you guys can see, we do not have a sharp nose like we do with the VIVO. It's not that sharp here. The quality for the detail is definitely worse here, and as you guys can see, we may think that it's a cobweb, but it's actually not, and we can only notice it on our VIVO X300 Pro. So as you guys can see, even the jaw right here seems like it has some issues, and it looks definitely better on the VIVO X300 Pro. So I feel like this round right here definitely goes to the VIVO X300 Pro because of the quality and the eye for detail. Now the second picture, still the same head, but this time the scenery is different. We are not using even a tiny bit of the zoom here. And now as you guys can see, let's zoom in up to 87% too for both of the pictures. So let me quickly tell you guys that you may guess from now which phone is which. Of course, the left side is the VIVO X300 Pro and the right side is the Oppo Find X9 Pro. Again, the very sharp nose. This picture is very sharp, and it makes it look like it's actually high quality, or if it was just drawn by somebody like an artist. So I feel like this picture right here is definitely a good example of how a camera is on the VIVO X300 Pro. Now for the Oppo Find X9 Pro, I feel like the camera did a great job, but still the nose is not actually accurate. So not accurate, but it still has its imperfections. Also, the jaw is completely blurry, and I feel like this round again goes to the VIVO X300 Pro. So the third round now, as you guys can see, those pictures have not been edited, and the left side VIVO X300 Pro, the right side is the Oppo Find X9 Pro. So this picture is definitely it has a lot of overexposure. As you guys can see, we can try and zoom in here. The detail is great for a camera like that, and here, as you guys can see, we can definitely notice everything. So this picture I feel like is actually very, very great. And even the tree, if it's not it's not like a main thing to focus on this picture, but the quality of it is definitely amazing. Now for the VIVO X300 Pro, I feel like the exposure here is way lower, and this picture I feel like it's worse because you cannot see the true colors of a picture. You can only see the sun that is just going on your screen, and here you can actually notice the clouds on the Oppo Find X9. Here you guys can notice the clouds, here you guys can notice everything. I feel like this picture has a little bit more life to it, if I can say it like that. Now let's go back to the selfies. So here we have the selfies camera, the left side the VIVO, and the right side the Oppo Find X9 Pro. So as you guys can see, we can notice the eyebrows. They are very clear. The eye color is clear too. We can definitely see everything here. We can see the face perfectly. Of course, it's in the portrait mode. We can see everything. It's pretty accurate. It's very detailed. And for the Oppo, it's also very detailed. We can definitely notice the eye color here. We can notice the eyebrows, but I feel like the Vivo did worse on this one. So I feel like the Oppo Find X9 Pro definitely won the round, and it's my opinion, but I feel like this picture is much better. It has a lot of colors in it, and I feel like colors are very important. So yeah, now let's move on to the next picture. So the left side is the VIVO X300 Pro. We can see the exact details, we can see everything. The colors are perfect here. For the Oppo Find X9 Pro, I can't say the same. The colors are completely different. This is somehow pinkish, and this is red. This is pink, and of course this is also pink, but definitely a different variant. You can see that there's a gap in the colors, so this round definitely goes to the VIVO X300 Pro. Now, the last thing we're gonna compare is the video. So this is the video of the VIVO X300 Pro. Now, it looks good, but I feel like in comparison to what the Oppo Find X9 Pro has to offer, it's definitely worse. So as you guys can see, both of those videos are actually full HD, so they do not give the same feeling of 8K or 4K 120 FPS, but here we have the full HD comparison. Now, this video has a lot more colors. It feels more realistic, it feels alive, and as you guys can see, this is definitely the round for Oppo Find X9 Pro. So that's it for the comparison between two of the great phones available right now. On the right side we have the Oppo. I feel like it did an amazing job, but I feel like the VIVO X300 Pro has a much better camera. So let me know in the comments what are your thoughts on it, and if this video was helpful, then leave a like, subscription, and a comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.